Hello and welcome to our lesson on the Magna Carta, where we're going to look at how the rule of law came into play. Well, of course, there's a few things we need to look. We need to look at what is the rule of law, discuss what life was like before the Magna Carta, and we also have to talk about why this document is so significant. The Magna Carta, or the Great Charter, all goes back to the rule of law. The rule of law implies that no one is above a certain set of rules. All people are held accountable to the same standards that are written down and very clear. The rule of law needs to be transparent. Everyone has to understand what the laws are. It's predictable. If you break a law, this is the outcome. It's stable. There aren't weird changes. It's accountable and enforceable, so you can't have a crazy law that's impossible. People have to be able to follow it. And it has to follow due process. Due process implies when you are arrested, the rights you have. When you go to court, the rights you have. When you're investigated, the rights you have. Those are all things police follow as part of the rule of law. So, for your first shout out, I want you to take a moment and define the rule of law. Pause the video and think about that. Well, the rule of law is a set of laws for everyone, which are transparent or have transparency. They have accountability. They hold people accountable. They have due process. People have the opportunity to prove themselves innocent or not guilty. They're predictable and they're stable. They aren't changing. So this is really important. We take this for granted in our lives, but it wasn't always this way. If we look at King John was the brother of King Richard. King Richard died during the Crusades and King John became king. To further support the wars and all the spending, he went through a bunch of things that people did not like doing. He arrested people and abused them. He tortured them for confessions and held them for long periods of time and things like that. He also arrested people without a reason. He was never clear on why they were going to jail. He also spent money on wars without discussing it with anyone else, and he just raised taxes whenever he chose. And the people of England got really upset about this. The king was making decisions without talking to anyone whatsoever. So, along came the Magna Carta. It had 63 clauses, but the most important of these is that no one can be arrested without cause. So, just like in our society, the police can't arrest you for no reason. They have to have a probable cause. And that's what the king had to have as well. And you couldn't imprison someone without a cause. You had to tell them why they were in jail. If you could not, they had to be released. If we think about today, in Canada, this is the origin of our Charter of Human Rights, and also the basis of due process. Of course, King John ignored all these rules after Parliament forced him to sign this charter, but it would become the basis for many things afterwards. So for your homework, I want you to compare and contrast life before and after the Magna Carta.